Dreaming of crisp, juicy cucumbers fresh from the garden, but getting pale and bitter ones instead? Chances are your plants just aren't getting the right nutrients. Today, let's forget about complicated chemicals and confusing store-bought bags. I'm going to tell you about 6 natural fertilizers for cucumbers that have been tested by generations of gardeners and truly work. Stick with me until the end, and you'll not only learn simple recipes, but also discover the main secret to using them. A secret many people don't even realize. This secret can dramatically change your harvest. Before we start, let's clarify something. Cucumbers are real hungry plants. You could even say they're the greedy eaters of the plant world. In their short season, they need to grow a lot of green leaves and produce tons of fruit. This takes a massive amount of nutrients. If the soil is poor, cucumbers start sending us signals. The leaves turn yellow, the tiny fruits drop off, and the cucumbers themselves grow misshapen and tasteless. Our job is to feed them correctly and on time. And we're going to do this using things you likely have right in your garden or kitchen. Okay, kicking off our garden hit parade is a true legend. Wood ash. Don't turn up your nose just yet. This isn't just barbecue leftovers. It's a treasure chest packed with goodness. Why wood ash, you ask? Simple. It's a free and incredibly rich source of potassium and phosphorus. Potassium is key to those sweet, crunchy cucumbers we all crave. Plus, it boosts disease resistance. Phosphorus helps cucumbers build strong roots and set more fruit. On top of that, ash contains calcium, magnesium, and a host of other micronutrients. It's like a multivitamin complex for your plants. How do you use it? The simplest way is dry. Just sprinkle about a handful of ash around the base of each plant. Then gently work it into the soil, not too deep, using a hoe or even just your hands. But there's an even more effective method, a liquid infusion. This gets those nutrients to the roots much faster. The recipe is super easy. Take 1 cup of sifted ash and pour in 10 litres of water. That's about 2.5 gallons, or a standard bucket. Stir it well and let it steep for 24 hours, giving it a stir now and then. Strain the liquid before using. And that's it. Water your cucumber plants at the base, using about half a litre or roughly a pint per plant. Now here's the most important part. Only use ash from burning clean, untreated wood, branches or plant matter. Absolutely no plastic, painted wood or trash. Otherwise, instead of helping, you'll poison your soil and your future harvest. Moving on, our second helpful trick is hiding right there, in your kitchen. This next one might surprise many people because it's just plain old baking yeast. Yep, you heard that right. So, how does it work? Yeast isn't a traditional fertilizer in the usual sense. These are live microorganisms, tiny fungi. When they get into warm, moist soil, they become very active and start multiplying. They break down organic matter in the soil, releasing nitrogen and phosphorus. This makes these nutrients readily available for your cucumber roots. Essentially, yeast is a powerful growth booster. It stimulates the beneficial microbes already in the soil and helps plants grow a strong, healthy root system. And strong roots are key to a bountiful harvest. Making this feed is super easy. You'll need 100 grams of fresh yeast. That's the block kind. Crumble it into a bucket with 10 litres of warm water. Important note, the water must be warm, around 30 degrees Celsius, but never hot, or you'll kill the yeast. To activate them, add 2 tablespoons of sugar to the water and give it a good stir. Leave the bucket in a warm place for 2 to 3 hours. You'll know it's ready when you see a noticeable foamy layer on top. Use this solution to water your cucumber plants right at the base, applying about 1 litre per plant. But remember, yeast only works its magic in warm soil. Also, as it ferments, it uses up potassium. So about a week to 10 days after applying the yeast feed, be sure to add some wood ash to the soil to help replenish the potassium levels and keep everything balanced. Now let's talk about green gold for your garden. Our third recipe is stinging nettle infusion. Yes, that's right. The very same plant that stings you if you walk into it, But for our cucumbers, it's a real-life elixir. Why nettle? It's a free, incredibly effective source of easily absorbed nitrogen. Nitrogen is a fundamental building block for plants. Cucumbers need it to grow lush, vibrant green leaves. Without enough nitrogen, leaves will be pale and small, and the vines thin and weak. Besides nitrogen, nettles are packed with iron, manganese, and vitamins. It doesn't just feed your plants, it strengthens their immunity, making them more resistant to pests and diseases like powdery mildew. Preparing this miracle tonic is super simple. Grab any container, a bucket or barrel. Just make sure it's not metal to avoid oxidation. Fill it about 2/3 full with chopped nettles. You can pull them up roots and all, but it's best to use young plants before they flower, as they contain the most nutrients. Cover the nettles with water, leaving about 4 inches of space at the top, because the infusion will ferment. Cover the container with a lid or plastic wrap, leaving a gap for air, and place it in a warm spot. Stir the infusion with a stick every couple of days. After about 1 to 2 weeks, when the liquid has darkened and stops foaming heavily, your green fertilizer is ready. Fair warning, the smell is, well, unique to say the least, but that distinctive odour is actually a sign of quality. Before using, you need to dilute the concentrate with water at a 1 to 10 ratio and use this solution to water your cucumbers at the base. This feeding is especially beneficial during the early growth stage when plants are actively building their green mass. Here's recipe number 4, a real find for frugal and practical gardeners. This feeding is made from something we often just throw away. We're talking about old bread, dried bread, and crusts. You might be surprised, but bread is an excellent base for a nutrient-rich solution. What's the secret? Bread, especially rye, contains yeast, which we've discussed before. When soaked in water, they activate and start the fermentation process. This results in a slightly acidic, nutrient-rich medium that cucumbers absolutely love. This solution not only feeds the plants but also works as a soil conditioner. It improves soil structure, making it more loose, airy, and full of life. This in turn makes it easier for oxygen to reach the roots, which is critically important for plant health. The recipe is incredibly simple. Take a standard 10-litre bucket and fill it 2/3 of the way with any bread scraps, crusts, stale bread, rusks. It doesn't matter if it's white or dark. Pour in enough warm water to completely cover the bread. To keep the bread from floating, you can place something heavy on top, like a plate with a stone on it. Put the bucket in a warm, sunny spot and let it ferment for about a week. You'll know it's ready by the sour smell and bubbling. After that, strain the liquid through cheesecloth or a sieve. The leftover bread mush can go into your compost. Dilute the resulting concentrate with water in a 1 to 3 ratio and use it to water your cucumber plants at the base. This feeding stimulates growth and flowering, making your cucumbers strong and productive. The 5th fertilizer on our list is a real treat for your cucumbers, designed to help them set as many fruits as possible. It's an infusion made from banana peels. Before you toss out that banana skin after eating the fruit, think twice. It's actually a valuable resource for your garden. So what makes it so good? Banana peels are a powerhouse of potassium. What's great is that the potassium in them is in a form plants can easily absorb. And we know potassium is a key nutrient responsible for flowering, fruit set, and the sweetness of those future cucumbers. If your cucumbers don't get enough potassium, they'll start dropping their flowers and tiny fruits, and the ones that do develop will be small and bland. Besides potassium, the peels also contain magnesium, phosphorus, and nitrogen, which are all vital for healthy plant development. There are a couple of ways to make this banana peel elixir. The quickest is a fresh infusion. Take the peels from 3 to 4 bananas, chop them up finely, put them in a large jar, and pour in warm water. Let it steep for 2 to 3 days in a warm spot. When the water becomes cloudy and you see some bubbles, the infusion is ready. Simply strain the liquid and use it undiluted to water your cucumbers directly at the base. Another option is drying the peels. You can dry them in the sun, on a radiator, or in the oven until they're brittle like chips. Then, grind them into a powder using a coffee grinder, or just crush them well. This powder makes an excellent slow-release fertilizer. You can sprinkle it around the base of your cucumber plants before watering, or add it to the planting holes when you transplant seedlings. It's a simple, eco-friendly, and completely free way to give your cucumbers a powerful potassium boost. And now, for our sixth method. This is what I'd call the heavy artillery, for those aiming for maximum yield, almost to an industrial scale. We're talking about chicken manure here. It's one of the most powerful and concentrated organic fertilizers you can use. So why is it so effective? Chicken manure is a real powerhouse of nutrients. It's packed with nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, and calcium, all in a form readily available to plants. Just one application can give your cucumbers a massive growth boost, literally transforming weak vines before your eyes into strong, leafy plants loaded with fruit. It's like an energy drink for your plants. But with this power comes a need for extreme caution. Fresh chicken manure must not be used directly. It contains a lot of uric acid, which can simply burn the roots and kill your entire crop. This is the #1 mistake many beginner gardeners make. So how do you make it safe and beneficial? Only by using it as a liquid solution. The best way is to make a liquid infusion. Take any container, like a bucket, and fill it about 1/3 full with fresh manure. Then fill it to the top with water and mix well. Cover the bucket and let it ferment in a warm place for 5 to 7 days. Stir it occasionally during this time. Once the fermentation process is complete, you'll have a highly concentrated solution. And this concentrate, before using it to water your plants, must be diluted again. Use 1 part of the concentrate to 20 parts of water. For example, about half a litre of the concentrate per standard bucket of water. And only use this highly diluted solution to carefully water your cucumbers, making sure to avoid getting it on the leaves. Apply this feed no more than 2 or 3 times throughout the season, and the results will be visible in no time. It seems simple enough. You've got a few great recipes. Pick one and water your plants. But here lies the biggest mistake 9 out of 10 beginner gardeners make. They enthusiastically mix everything together, not knowing that these fertilizers can interact negatively and completely cancel out the benefits. The key secret that will revolutionize your approach to feeding your plants is this. Never use ash at the same time as nitrogen fertilizers. That is, with nettle infusion or chicken manure, like we just mentioned. Why? It's simple chemistry we all learnt in school, but probably forgot. Ash is alkaline, and nettle infusion or diluted manure is a rich source of nitrogen in what's called the ammonium form. When alkali meets ammonium nitrogen, a strong chemical reaction happens, causing all that beneficial nitrogen to simply evaporate into the air as ammonia. Imagine you put in the effort, collected nettles, waited for the manure to steep, then added ash for extra benefit, and in the end your cucumbers got nothing but water and an unpleasant smell. All your work was for nothing. So remember this simple but golden rule of rotation. First, during the active growth phase, feed your cucumbers nitrogen using nettle or manure for lush, green growth. Then, 10 to 14 days later, when flowering and fruiting begins, give them a potassium boost from ash. Keep them separate and the results won't just please you, they'll truly amaze you. This simple nuance is what separates an experienced gardener from a beginner. So there you have it, 6 proven natural recipes for growing an abundant cucumber harvest. And most importantly, you know the key secret to applying them correctly, helping you avoid common mistakes. Thank you for watching this video all the way to the end. I hope these tips were truly helpful. If they were, please give this video a like and be sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on new secrets for a rich harvest. Now, a question for you. What natural fertilizers do you use for your cucumbers? Share your tried and true methods in the comments below. Let's build the ultimate collection of tips together.